Hello everybody and welcome to today. So today we're going to be taking a look at this crossbow. I've gotten some requests on instructions for it, and so we'll be taking it apart and showing you guys how to build it. Let's get into the video. Okay, so these are all the pieces we're going to need. And just a note, this does not include ammo or the base plate, which I'll be covering at the end of the video. So first, we'll need 3 of these 1x4 flat tiles, just 1x4. Then we're going to need 4 of these cheese slopes. Then these 3 pieces, 2 2x2 discs, and 1 pit are used for the trigger. You can use other pieces, but these are the pieces I like to use because it makes it pretty easy to hit. Then we need 1 1x1 brick with 1 hole in the side. This is used for the trigger. We're going to need 3 of these square pieces and 1 round piece. You're going to want to stack them like this. This is going to be for the rubber band to snap the trigger back. We're going to need 2 of these flat 1x1s and another 1 of these square pieces. We're going to need 2 Technic pieces here. These aren't all the Technic pieces, but these are for the trigger. You need one that's 3 long and preferably has an end cap on the front. It's not going to need this, but it makes things a lot better. And 1 of these pieces with a cross hole in it and an axle coming out the other end. I like to use this kind because the reason why is with our trigger, this will make sure that the trigger doesn't come apart at all in all of our using it. We're going to need 1 1x3 brick. We're going to need 4 2x3 plates. 2 of these, I don't know how many teeth they have, I think it's 16 tooth gears. 1 of these T Technic pieces. 3 of these rubber bands. These are little Rainbow Loom sized rubber bands, the kind that are used for making bracelets. I find that they're better than the regular Lego because they can stretch a lot farther without breaking. We're going to need 1 regular rubber band, and we've got this Technic piece in it. This is going to be used for the trigger. I've already looped it on there because it's a pain to get on. I don't want to do it again. We need 2 3 long axles, 3 half pins, and I've got 6 of these guys. You could make it work with even 2, but 6 makes it work a lot better, and 4 of them are for holding rubber bands, and 2 of them are for holding these pieces together. These 2 pieces are going to be the main body of our arms, and these work as supports underneath to help hold things together and give you axle holes in the right spot. Anyway, let's get on to the build. So let's take this T-piece and 3 half pins. Start by sticking the half pins up and down the center of the T-piece right there, just like that. Next, what we want to do is take all of these arm pieces we've got. The 2 gray ones, the 2 white ones, these 6 half pins, and these 2 3 long axles. So what we want to do is we want to take this, put this white piece on the bottom, and if you see halfway through we've got this joint here, we want to stick this half pin down through the top. That's the only thing that should come above the top of the surface. Everything else goes on the bottom, including 1 half pin right here, 1 half pin right here, and this axle in the very corner. This will stick over the top, but the nub comes from beneath, and this is important because this makes sure that the big rubber band is held tight across the runway, I guess. And these come out beneath, that way these Rainbow Loom rubber bands do not get in the way of the bullet. So next what we want to do is just mirror that on the opposite side. Exact same thing, just left instead of right and right instead of left. And there we go. Now we've got our 2 arms. Those are going to go in these holes right here, but we're going to wait for a while to do that. Next, what we want to do is take 1 1x6 flat piece, 1 1x4 flat piece, this 1x4 flat tile, this 2x6. Let's start by putting the 2x6 on the end of the 1x4 flat, then 1x4 tile, then 1x6 tile. Next, let's take this 1x1 stud, place it right there. This is eventually going to be what holds our arms in place. We can go ahead and start. Let's put this right here and another one behind it. On top of those, we're going to put this 1x1 tile and this 1x1 tile. Then we're going to follow that with 2 1x4 arms. And this is going to be most of our runway. What we need to do right now is put these 2 slopes right here. This is what's going to help stabilize your bullet in the back, as your ammo will rest between these 2. And it's important that these are slopes because then the rubber band will slide over them fairly easily. Next we come to the bottom. Let's start by taking this whole piece and put it right in the center there. we've got these two pieces attached together, these Technic 2 ones. Just make sure this brown one is the one coming out the back. Just like that. Now what we need to do is we need to take this stack. This part is pretty tricky, but what you want to do is take this rubber band, loop it around this round part, so it's in that indent, and staple this down. Then what you can do is loop this around the back, and then pull it once more over. This will give it enough tightness to be pulled back every time, but not give you any difficulty pushing it forward. Then we'll take a 1x3 brick, put it right there. Another 2x3 tile right there. And then for our trigger, let's go ahead and put this disc right here, a red disc on top, and a red pip on top of that, and that is the trigger complete. Now, what happens is you're going to loop the rubber band over, and then you can press this to fire. So now let's take this piece with the rubber band, our two other rubber bands, and two gears, and let's go ahead and assemble this. So what we're going to want to do is put this Technic piece on the bottom right here, then flip it over, and we're going to put one arm, make sure it's straight up and down like this. It can hinge forward and backward, but we want to have it straight right now. Whoops. Now let's take our other one and do the same thing. So the problem with these 16-tooth gears is that if they're straight, they both stick a tooth out directly to each side. If you see, so if we try to put this one on, you'll notice that right here the teeth overlap instead of being every other one. So you'll have to take one of your arms and fold it down just a little bit, which is what I don't like about this model. The arms aren't actually in sync. This one touches the top and this one does not. I'm going to make another model later that has this gear problem fixed. Anyway, so now what you want to do is come to the back, take this piece. We've just taken one of these Technic pieces. It's got an axle on this side and a hole on this side. We've stuck a rubber band through it. What we're going to do is hook this rubber band around the underside of this knob and the underside of this knob. If done correctly, the arm should fold back about like this. Now we want to come to the front. Make sure we keep that rubber band on. Maybe stick your fingers inside and pull. And what we want to do is stick a rubber band around the front and on the other knob. Make sure that gets pushed all the way down. And then do the same with the second one. I'm using 2 here because that's about the right amount of force for this. If you would like, you can actually add more rubber bands so it will shoot harder, but it's also much harder to cock, and I don't know what the risk is of adding more rubber bands. It can become pretty unstable. So now, to fire this, what you want to do is you want to pull this back, place it over this edge, and then you can place your ammo inside, just like this. Make sure these rubber bands are on top of the T-slips, and then you press forward on this red disc to fire. Okay, perfect. On to the next section. Okay, now that we're done building the catapult, we may want a hinge and we may want some ammo, as that's kind of an important part of this crossbow. So what I've got here for a hinge is just a 2x3 plate with this 1x2 brick. It's got an axle going all the way through down to these hinges, and it's just got a plate on the bottom. You can change this up however you'd like, whatever you want, depending on what you want to attach this to, but it's pretty simple. You can just kind of plop it on there. Anything that can attach to this underside area, you need to make sure it just doesn't get in the way of this trigger, and that it doesn't stop these gears at all. And then any trigger works. And for this ammo, what I've got is a 1x6 tile with a 1x8 plate on top, and then one of these hinge clips for the front. There's not really any reason for it to be like this. It just needs to be at least 2 studs tall, so that way when this rubber band comes forward, it can catch this bullet right here, and it needs to be 1 stud wide at the bottom, that way it can slide through here. If you want, you can actually add stuff on top of this. I was thinking of adding like a minifigure, so you can launch a minifigure out the top. Just as long as the bottom is at least 2 studs tall and only 1 stud wide, anything works. Hello everybody, thanks for watching. It hasn't been a while since I've posted, but I'm glad people have been interested still. Anyway, I've got some requests for this, and I hope this works for you guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.